Immigrants make our country a better place. Immigrants make America great. And our immigrant brothers and sisters deserve to call this country home.
Hey everybody, this is Dean FM, Dean Fraser here for your creature comfort. And today, I wanted to do another reaction video. This one's going to be to Ayanna Presley in the name of championing Black femininity and doing what it do as far as advocacy goes in that sense. I reacted to Jasmine Crockett, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Here's a little bio. Ayanna Presley is a Democratic U.S. representative for Massachusetts 7th District. Hey, that's my state. Mass, we kick you in the... Serving since 2019, she was the first person of color elected to Boston City Council 2010 through 2019 as a member of the Squad. Champions progressive causes like racial and economic justice, healthcare reform, and criminal justice. In Congress, she sits under financial services and oversight committees and remains a vocal advocate for equity and women's rights. So yeah, let's get right into it. It's the video I want to react to. Ayanna Presley. Immigrants are being targeted and abducted by the Trump administration. Yeah, we all know what ICE has been doing. We all know they be going into people's houses. They be messing up things. They be tearing people apart. They be tearing mothers from babies, babies from mothers. You know, it's just a whole bunch of, mess. And I don't mean to make light of any of this. I think that is quite disgusting. What's going on in our country as far as people being abducted is concerned. If you see something, say something for sure. If you see somebody being abducted, somebody being kidnapped by somebody with a mask, it's not okay. I'm not going to suggest that peace needs to be had in that moment. I'm not going to speak for immigrants in that case. I'm not going to speak for immigrant families. I think that the outrage that we have shown nationwide has been quite impressive, quite telling that this country is not going to be having this. And I'm one of them that's not going to be had. And yeah, let's go right into it. This is by the Forbes Breaking News.
I rise today on behalf of our neighbors and community members.
Oh, lovely jacket.
Immigrants, our immigrant brothers and sisters who are being targeted and abducted, taken from their homes, torn away from their babies,
ridiculous,
disappeared on their way to church, work, and to school. Children, crying in their teachers' arms. Families separated, communities traumatized if they've not already been kidnapped, fearful that there will be. Children crying in their teachers' arms, afraid that they're going to come home and their parents will be gone. Elders carrying all of their medications with them and their comings and goings for fear of being abducted and sent somewhere without access to necessary health care. We see a spike in no-shows and cancellations in health clinics as patients would rather miss critical care than risk detainment. We see young parents and grandparents alike attending their immigration court hearings, eager to officially call this country home, only to be met with handcuffs and shoved into cars by masked ICE individuals. This is Donald Trump's America. But these are real people, hardworking people, whose labor and contributions make our communities a better place. Young people who show up every day in our schools as part of our learning communities. These are mothers and fathers working overtime to provide for their children. In my district, the Massachusetts 7th, my Chelsea constituent Kenya and her 3 children were driving to a Mother's Day church service with her husband Daniel when ICE agents in unmarked vehicles ambushed them, broke the passenger side window, forcefully extracted Daniel from the car, and slammed his face in the sidewalk while their 3 children watched on in horror. And in East Boston, my constituent Mercedes and her son are struggling after her husband Jose was arrested at work and detained for 2 days at an ICE facility in Burlington. Jose was living here legally with temporary protected status, but was told by the ICE agents who detained him that only people born here have rights. These are real people, children and adults alike traumatized, whose lives have been disturbed, upended, and irreparably harmed. Donald Trump and ICE claim that they are committing this assault on our communities in the name of safety. Terror makes no one safe. It does the opposite. It sows chaos, it breeds fear, and it fosters unrest. From my home in the Massachusetts 7th, where mothers have wept on my shoulder, pleading for their husbands to come home, for their families to be reunited, to Los Angeles, where Donald Trump sent the National Guard and Marines to descend on justice-seeking, peaceful protesters. The hurt and harm of this hostile White House is felt by us all. This has nothing to do with law and order. That is laughable. coming from the most godless, lawless Oval Office occupant in our history. This has everything to do with power and control. Deploying the National Guard without a governor's approval, taking unwarranted and unprecedented action against peaceful justice seekers and freedom fighters.
The governor said, come on, tough
We
guy.
must see our neighbors' humanity in this moment. Yet across the country, occupant Trump is working overtime to be a fascist dictator, to weaponize our government against its own people, to sow fear and chaos, to silence dissenting voices in our communities, at our colleges, in the courts, and in fact, even in Congress. These actions are lawless, a complete violation of our constitutional rights to due process, void of common sense and compassion. Know this for those of you watching at home who might be tempted to think that this is not your problem. An extremist march towards fascism is everyone's problem. Trust me,
once attacked,
if you're
we're all
not
at
already
risk.
suffering,
We really are.
you will be. And we need solidarity and resistance and a rejection in this moment of these attacks on our immigrant communities. An attack on our immigrant communities is an attack on all of us. As a woman of faith, my God tells me to welcome the stranger. Do not be indifferent to the suffering of your neighbors. Immigrants make our country a better place. Immigrants make America great. And our immigrant brothers and sisters deserve to call this country home. I yield back.
You better talk. You better rip the situation. And that, my dear, was reacting to Ayanna Presley. Immigrants are being targeted and abducted by Trump's administration. It's very sad. It's very scary. It's very troubling. I think that it's important that all of us oppressed communities, no matter who we are, trans people, gay people, black people, immigrants, neurodivergent people, disabled people, old people, we all are going to take a huge hit from all these bills being proposed, from birthright citizenship. They're trying to snatch that away from people. Those people have been here for decades. That's going to be a whole mess. So yeah, and I hope you have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.